he really reminds me of Jack in The Shining.
It's Jack Nicholson.
Oh, it's the same person?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, well, he looks familiar. And both of their names are Jack.
So we watched Batman in the theater for Batman's 85th birthday, but the movie's been out for probably almost 35 years. So this is Penny's first time watching Batman 89. And this is right after Beetlejuice that you just watched for the first time.
Yeah.
So it kind of made you a Tim Burton fan, right? And he was actually working on Batman before Beetlejuice.
Oh,
He just
really?
wasn't getting a script that he liked, so he just went ahead and made Beetlejuice and then made Batman right afterwards.
Did he pick Michael Keaton as Batman before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know if it was before, but yeah, we'll get into that. So there was a big controversy when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman. Like, people hated it. And because he was mainly known as a comedic actor. I mean, you see it in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I think that he's kind of a wimp.
It don't seem that it's right, that you should have a smaller man playing as a Batman.
Well, I'd rather see Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I think Arnold Keaton would be good too.
And they actually, from just like the fan reaction, they cobbled up like a really basic trailer for theaters, and people actually went to see a movie that trailer was playing at, and then left after the trailer played. That's how popular it was. But they did that to convince people that he was going to be a good Batman. And I think it did quell a lot of the complaints. It wasn't like the internet now, but they would mail mail the studio or whoever that
Official complaints.
Yeah. But with that, I mean, what do you think of Michael Keaton as Batman?
I mean, like, after watching Beetlejuice, like, especially with Beetlejuice makeup and stuff, it's very hard to imagine this person can, to imagine him as Batman. But it also didn't feel very weird. I was a little surprised that he looks that handsome, like, without, like, as a, normal, with, like
just a normal guy?
Yeah. Like,
well, especially now, you see comic book movies and everyone's like all roided out. He looks like just the average dude.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, but I can't make the correlation of that face, associate that with Beetlejuice face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think probably Michael Keaton might be my favorite Batman.
Okay.
Other ones kind of have their problems. I mean, Christian Bale was okay, but his Batman voice was terrible. But I was excited for Robert Pattinson's Batman because I think Michael Keaton is like this awkward weirdo Bruce Wayne, so that's his take on it.
Okay.
And I think I like that the best because a guy that dresses up as a bat and beats up people at night, they're going to be a little weird, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's why I liked Robert Pattinson's his take and his casting in The Batman. Because I just want that weirdo Bruce Wayne again. Yeah, seeing this again after so many years, I think I like it a lot more now. It just seems like comic book movies today are a little embarrassed from their roots. Like, they don't embrace like the wackiness of some of the comics. I know comics are getting a little serious and a little darker, and I appreciate stuff like the Joker, which is like a dark, serious take on the character.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a little over it now. I mean, we already had the Dark Knight, which is like the realistic, gritty thing. We had the Batman, which is kind of like the same thing. I'm wanting like the wackiness of these movies coming back, and I think that's why I'm excited for James Gunn's reboot of the DC universe, because I think he's going to bring that back.
Okay.
It's going to be a lighter tone Batman and Superman and stuff, and I'm looking forward to that. I also have to add that this movie was like insanely popular the summer it came out. That summer of '89 is considered the summer of Batman.
I think it's gonna be rad.
Really? What's rad?
Radical.
Okay.
Cool.
I just remember everyone wearing the black shirt with the Batman logo on it, and
Oh, I want one too.
yeah, we might get one.
Yeah. But what's funny is that, at the beginning of the movie, I was like, what's the next? That's so funny to watch, because like that guy was like acting like, oh, I'm gonna get Jack into trouble. Jack will not come back, and the way it's just kind of funny, and just immediately was like, oh, this is an old movie. That's how actors used to act in old movies.
Yeah, I mean it is a little exaggerated with the acting, which I like, and just like the aesthetic of the whole thing is like almost like 1940s.
Yeah.
It doesn't take place in the 40s, but a lot of like Batman media, it looks like it takes place there. Shortly after Batman Returns came out, Batman the Animated Series came out and had the same style, and like the new animated series Batman the Caped Crusader, it like seems to take place in the 1940s, but it's like a more futuristic industrial look to it, just like this movie is. I mean, like Gotham City is its own character in this movie. Like just the style of Gotham City, like everything's so industrial looking.
Yeah.
Even like the art museum has like looks like a factory almost. So your only exposure to the Joker, like live action Joker, has been Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto.
Yeah. And I like it because, I mean, obviously Joker's a clown, but like in the newer Joker movies, he is less of a clown, but more like, at least to me, is like attractive, sociopathical gentleman. Like, I feel like the newer Jokers are less of a clown, because he is not like, he doesn't got this really funny, typical clown type of personality anymore.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that the newer Jokers is what I would only accept. But like watching this one, I was really worried that the Joker is gonna be like way too silly, that I'm not gonna like. But the fact is, he is really funny to watch.
Well, I think they just what I noticed from Jack Nicholson's performance, he is like both parts equal, like the old Joker, the wacky Joker who was just goofy and did crime, and then like a psychopathic Joker that became more prominent in the 80s. So when Tim Burton made this, like before the movie came out, like the 1960s Batman was prevalent in people's minds. This is Batman, the goofy Batman. He goes thwap, whap, and climbing a wall with a rope with Robin and stuff. So seeing this dark Batman, where people didn't read comics at the time because the Batman comics became like much more darker in the 80s, and that's part of his inspiration for this Batman, which I think he does pay tribute to the 60s goofiness too, with a mix of it. So I that's the thing I've grown to appreciate after watching this again. What did you think of Jack Nicholson's Joker then compared to the other Jokers you saw?
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I don't know whoever wrote his line. I will at least be able to pick 10 lines of his in the movie to literally put it on a board and hang it out in my house. Yeah, and the night he comes back, and the gangster boss was like drinking. I was like, "Honey bum, was that you?" And the way he shot him, he's like pew pew and pew from the back. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah, I really like Jack Nicholson's performance in this, and I mean that's a reason he gets top billing, because he's like, well, I think it's probably in his contract too, but yeah, he like puts it all out there as the Joker.
Yeah. And I never knew like why Joker has the red lip stick on and why his mouth looked like that. I thought it was just a clown look, and he like explained the movie, everybody just needs to smile more and be happy, and that was just that was so funny.
There was, it's like, well, different Jokers, some have the makeup, some have like they're just scarred from the chemicals and stuff, and that Smilex is what comes into the plot. This takes inspiration from the Batman comic The Killing Joke, where in that his backstory is that he's like a failed comedian and he starts to work for the mafia, and then Batman accidentally like throws him in the vat of acid that turns into the Joker, which in this he's a gangster. But and even in that, it's like they don't say that's clearly his origin story, because he just lies and makes up shit all the time. But yeah, I think it was a good way to interpret the Joker at the time, and especially like it's revealed later that he's the killer of Bruce Wayne's parents. But a lot of people aren't fans of that, because I think it's more impactful if you have just some random thug killing his parents, and that's what creates Batman, you know? I think it works okay in this interpretation, because it just gives Batman more of a motivation to go after Joker, you know?
It's not because he wants his woman, abduct his woman.
Yeah,
sure.
well, I mean, add a little bit more. I mean, it's fine. It's, you know, it's just one interpretation of Batman and Joker. So
Yeah, I know. You know what's a little, I guess for me, the part where Batman goes after Joker is a little underwhelming. Like, it doesn't feel like a huge like revenge type of thing. Like, I feel like them fighting at the end, it's kind of light. It's like light fighting.
yeah, I mean, Joker isn't much of a fighter, and then the finale, yeah, it's kind of. I don't think, like, watching it again, I don't think it like holds the same speed as the rest of the movie. But it is a little goofy. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's the limitations they had.
Yeah,
at the
I
time.
understand. And it's just like, okay, Batman might be like cool and stuff, but he's a little boring to me. I don't know.
Batman, yeah.
Batman is a
Well,
little
that's
boring.
that's the thing with these Batman movies. It's like the main character is basically the villains.
Yeah.
Like, they're the focus, and later, like in other movies, they kind of focus more on Batman and Bruce Wayne's psyche and everything. But yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, I mean, the villains are way more colorful than Batman, so it's easier to make a movie about the villains.
Yeah, and Jesus, what's funny is, you know, the scene where Bruce Wayne was gonna tell his girlfriend who he is in the house, and Joker burst in, and the girl's like, look around, and Bruce Wayne's gone. And I wouldn't be like, dude, where were you?
That's Batman's thing, just disappearing.
And then he didn't like really like defend, protect his girl until like Joker like threatened her and drag her around the room by her hair and stuff. I'm like, dude, you come to rescue way too late, okay? What I like about this Joker in the Batman is that his makeup feels very original to me, and I like his costumes. Like, he got a flower ping that squirts out acid.
Yeah, that's a comic book thing. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
that he uses, which I think is cooler than Batman's gear. What else? And the scene that they did at was it a restaurant or a museum, that he had a couple of like his crew, they show up. It was almost like a musical moment where they like do paint and random like painting on those like pieces with obviously very symbolic color of Joker, right? Purple, neon colors. That was one of my favorite like scenes in the movie.
Okay, let's bring it back around that. So, Prince did the soundtrack to this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where the musical thing?
Yeah, in the parade. So it's like Party Man when he comes into the art museum, and it's what is it? Trust. I think it's Trust during the parade scene.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was like 7 or 8 when this came out, so I'm like, Prince doing the Batman soundtrack, like, you know, Batman is like, oh, this masculine thing, and then like Prince is like very, you know, effeminate and everything, but it totally works because like as I got older, I began to appreciate Prince as a musical artist, and I think it really works because it's kind of like the Joker side of it.
Yeah,
And
it's a Joker vibe.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Prince songs in this?
I did not know it was his songs. I probably should have like go back to those 2 soundtrack and listen to them again. But just the songs along with what was happening in that moment, as well as Joker's kind of weird, funny, creepy vibe. I think they meshed really well for me.
Yeah, I love the songs in this, and they even have some songs that are missing, like Bat Dance, where they kind of put like the 60s Batman theme in it too.
I wonder if it would be a cool idea for them to do like a Batman musical or like Joker musical.
They might have, I don't know, but yeah, that sounds interesting. Do the
like,
first 2 Batman movies, I think, would be great. Yeah, there's some differences between like this Batman and other Batman. So Batman, like, most of the interpretations is like he doesn't kill people, and he kills a fucking ton of people in this movie. Like, he's trying to save like Jack Napier from falling into the vat of acid, but then later in the movie, he drives in that fucking plant and just blows the fucking place open with people in it, and well, with the thugs, he's not killing innocent people, and he like straight up murders people at the end too. Like, well, I mean, but that's another criticism people have of it. But I mean, there's like when Batman first came out, he killed people. He had a gun and he shot fucking people. So, and I it's just like that's just the interpretation of it. Zack Snyder's Batman versus Superman, he killed people too. But I see the value of like the Batman who doesn't kill people. He refuses to kill people, and that's like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, the Nolan trilogy. They make it a point like he does not kill people. Like, he absolutely refuses to.
Yeah, like that's a interesting like perspective, because I've always felt like good superheroes should just not kill people unless they are very, very, very bad and cannot be like brought back to the good side. Like, they refuse to be like, what's the word? Like, they refuse to surrender. They want to go like.
Well, I mean, that's like a point they make in like some of the comics. Like, oh, Joker kills so much. If you just killed him, it would save so many lives.
Yeah, that I would understand.
But that's just where Batman comes from. His parents were killed. He doesn't want to become like the guy who killed his parents.
Okay, I would understand if he wants to kill Joker, because Joker is not gonna come back to like the good side. But the gangsters, they're scared. If you just scare the shit out of them, which they will be, I feel like those people are not worth, terminated their life.
I'll just talk about my history with the movie. It's like one of the first movies I remember seeing in theater. I think my uncle took me when I was 7. I have just like a vivid memory of it. But like the other 2 movies I've seen, like my first memory of seeing are like Hot to Trot, starring Bobcat Goldthwait, and Ghostbusters 2. And Ghostbusters 2 came out in '89 too. But just seeing with my uncle, I remember one vivid thing is like the Joker's death at the end of the movie, where he like falls down and it looks kind of goofy, and we're both like cracking up. But yeah, we were both like fans of the movie. I remember they kept showing the old 60s Batman on TV all the time. I was watching those all the time. And also, they sell toys. And I've had some Batman toys. I won't go into all of them, but I'll just point out a couple of my favorites. One was like Bruce Wayne. He's like got this black suit on, and you would put like the mask and stuff on him. And he would have the cape. You could just take it off. He's Bruce Wayne. You put it on. He's Batman.
Okay.
Another one, and this is like one of my favorite toys of all time, is the Joker. And he had like the skin color face, and if you like put water on his face,
ooh,
it would turn
white. I want that.
And I would always like use my spit on it to do it. So that was pretty disgusting. But it was a very cool toy. Maybe I'll find it on eBay and get that. But yeah, that was like the coolest technology. I've never seen them do it with another toy before, like something like that.
Yeah,
change the color.
It's really cool, and it's like,
probably like fucking poisonous. Like, I was putting that shit in my mouth. So.
Missed me. Time for a change. That disguise won't work, Joker.
Okay, question for you though. As a 7-8-year-old, when you were watching this movie, could you fully understand the character Joker?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Joker. He's a goofy villain. Like, that's basically all you needed. But I didn't really care for I didn't really understand the plot, like, of the gangsters taking over
Okay.
the other gangsters' businesses and why he killed them. I'm like, that's just the Joker. He just fucking kills people.
And when he has the Batsuit on, like I can't really tell that was Bruce Wayne, except
Well, he's
for
got
when
a big muscle suit on where he can't move.
yeah.
And
Well, he literally did one of these like robot moves. One of the moments. It's just kind of goofy, I guess. But they would like zoom in onto his face, and you can tell there's like dark eye, smoky eye makeup.
Yeah.
And then there's like this very unique look of his shape, the shape of his lips. And then I would like specifically look for that when he returned to like normal person. I'm like, is that lip still there?
Yeah, and he was only Batman in the first 2 Batman movies, and then he got recast, and it was Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer has very prominent lips.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was like a thing they used to cast Batman, I guess, at the time. But,
Yeah, that makes sense, because you barely see any part of his face under that big mask.
yeah.
Like, I want to know that it's not just a random, like, staff from the crew that they put in a suit. I want to know it's the actual, the actual actor, Bruce Wayne.
So, what are your overall thoughts, and what would you rate Batman 1989?
My general thoughts of this movie, I really enjoyed it in the theater. I think it's kind of fun to sometimes look at these older movies, and then you get a feeling. It's definitely a different style of what we're seeing today. And I really appreciate the Joker character, the musical that they put in there, costumes, how the personality of Joker. Obviously, for me, this is more of a Joker movie than a Batman movie.
Yeah, that's a trend you're gonna see once we start watching some of these older Batman movies.
Yeah, and I have no complaints. The thing is, this movie was really cool and funny for me for the first half. Leading to them hanging on the tall building at the end. The ending was less impressive for me, at least. I get my satisfaction from the most of the movie.
Yeah, the performances, just like the general direction.
Yeah, and I really don't really care how Joker died. Well, Joker didn't die in my heart.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a weird comparison, but it seems like movies now are always like sequel bait. Like, okay, watch this because you know what's going to happen in the next movie. And like movies back then, it was just like, we're making this movie and it's a one and done.
Yeah.
Kill the Joker, I don't give a shit. They weren't thinking about like the franchise potential of the Joker. They probably paid Jack Nicholson like so much money to play the Joker at the time. Yeah. It was like a ridiculous amount, but I think they might have had some regret of killing the Joker in the first movie, so they couldn't bring him back.
You know what? I just want a little extra. He really reminds me of Jack in The Shining.
It's Jack Nicholson.
Oh, it's the same
actor.
person?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, well, he looks familiar. And both of their names are Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
And then, because I'm like the smile.
Yeah, that's Jack Nicholson. It's the same
okay.
actor, but that was Jack Nicholson like a decade ago, and I think so. Another complaints about Joker is that he was kind of like too old and chubby to play the Joker, but I don't know. He still pulls it off, but I mean, if it was Jack Nicholson like a decade younger, oof, it would have been fucking awesome. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smile that made me associate. It's a very creepy smile, and I don't think a lot of people can do that. It's very, distinguishable. So overall for this movie is a 4 out of 5 score.
Okay.
A high 4 out of 5 for Joker, and a very low 4 out of 5 for Batman.
Did you like it more than you thought you would?
Yes, I definitely did not expect to see Joker at all, because it's called Batman. I thought it's just Batman. Didn't expect to see Joker, and when I know Joker is gonna appear in this movie, I was a little concerned about how much I'm gonna like his character, I guess.
Mm.
But I end up being really surprised and absolutely love Joker more than anything else in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you. 4 out of 5. There's not much plot to it, but I think Tim Burton's direction, his like art style, the performances all do a lot of heavy lifting with the story. Which, I mean, films are a visual medium, so it don't really need a strong story, but it really does a great job like establishing the Joker. And the funny thing about, or the Joker, but just like the universe. But the funny thing is like there was no live action interpretation of the Joker until The Dark Knight in 2008, nearly 20 years later.
Okay.
And now we have like 50 different live action Jokers, and most of them are fucking lame. So it showed like the big like shoes Heath Ledger had to fill, the whole 2 decades of no live action Joker. But yeah, I still am very nostalgic for this movie. It's, you know, I kept like my memory of Batman, I kept thinking it's probably like a 3-star, 3.5 star, but seeing it now, I'm like, especially in the theater,
yeah.
it's pretty fucking awesome. Like I really like it. Like,
yeah, for some movies,
it makes me long for these type of comic book movies again, which is why I'm hoping that's what James Gunn is doing with the new DCU Batman Superman stuff.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Okay, question. The tattoo of yours, the Joker tattoo of yours, was that inspired by this movie?
No, it's a comic.
Oh, it's inspired by comics.
Yeah, it's a Batman cover of Jock. He's an artist, comic book artist.
You should put this on the thumbnail.
And yeah, and so after this in 1992, Batman Returns. I think we'll probably watch that around December for Christmas, because it's more of a Christmassy movie, and that's below The Dark Knight as my favorite Batman, because I like it that much. So to be continued, Penny will watch Batman Returns. So if you want to see that, make sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe, hit that like button, and if you want Penny to watch something, put it down in the comments. So I guess that's it. So see you later. Bye.